Tessa's Tip-Tapping Toes by Carolyn Crimmy and illustrated by Marcia Gray Carrington. Tessa had swinging arms, skipping feet, and tip-tapping toes. She was built to dance. Most mice scurried along floorboards and ledges, trying not to be seen. Not Tessa. She boogied, she bopped, she shimmied, she hopped, she flounced and she bounced, but she never scurried. "Tessa, stop twirling so," her mother would scold. Tessa would try to stop with every ounce of her bebop and hip-hop and heart, but when her toes weren't tip-tapping, they felt all wrong. At night, Tessa and her family raided Mrs. Timboni's kitchen, hunting for crumbs. But instead of hurrying and scurrying, Tessa juggled jelly beans and sautéed with salt shakers. She loved to tap dance across the teapot, wearing her bottle cap slippers. Clickety-clack-clack, Tessa danced. Then one day, Mrs. Timboni got a cat. His name was Oscar, and his head was filled with songs. Most cats liked dozing on windowsills and curling up on fresh piles of laundry. Not Oscar. He crooned on the kitchen counters, sang in the sinks, and trilled on the dining room table. "Oscar, stop all that racket," cried Mrs. Timboni. "What will the neighbors think?" Oscar tried stopping with every ounce of his sing-songy humdinger of a heart, but when his tongue wasn't thrilling, he felt all wrong. As soon as Tessa's mother heard Oscar crooning, she worried that the new cat would catch her dancing daughter. "You must be more careful," she told Tessa. "No more bounding, no leaping, no spinning. From now on, you will scamper and scurry like a proper mouse." So Tessa hurried and scurried. She skittered and scampered. She stayed low to the ground and didn't make a sound. But it was hard to so hard. When she heard Oscar's songs, Tessa bit her tail to keep herself from dancing. Within a week, the neighbors complained about Oscar. Mrs. Timboni worried that they would ask her to get rid of her chorusing kitty. "You must be more careful," she told Oscar. "No more singing, no crooning, no caterwauling. From now on, you will nap and chase mice like a proper cat." So Oscar napped until noon and dozed right through dinner. At night, he chased the hurrying, scurrying mice back into their holes. But it was hard, so hard, when he heard the skitter-scamper of little mice feet. Oscar bit his tongue to keep him from singing. Then spring came. Dozens of daffodils danced in the yard, and green leaves bustled in the breeze. Tessa watched the daffodils sway. She longed to dance, but she remembered her mother's warning and kept still. Oscar listened to the leaves swish. He longed to sing, but he remembered Mrs. Timboni's warning and kept silent. Until one night when Oscar was awakened by the tink-tink-ting of the rain on the roof. Oscar's tongue twitched, his throat throbbed, his teeth chattered, and his lips quivered. Before he knew it, a song sprang out of his mouth. "Do-wappa, wappa, do-wappa, wappa," he sang, "do-ling, do-ling, do-ling." That same silver of a song wove its way into Tessa's dreams. Her tail curled, her fingers snapped, her head bebopped, and her toes tip-tapped. Without opening her eyes, she waltzed toward the dancing sounds. The rain poured down harder and harder. Oscar sang louder and louder. "Diddle diddle dee dee, diddle diddle dee dee, doodle wop wop, doodle wop wop." Tessa frolicked and frisked in time to the song. She danced round and round until she lost her balance and bumped into Oscar's food bowl with a clatter. Tessa suddenly woke up. Oscar stopped singing. He spun toward the noise. Cat and mouse stood staring at each other. All was quiet except for the rain on the roof. Only one thing came to Tessa's mind. Before Oscar could twitch a whisker, Tessa tip-tapped her toes in time to the rain. Oscar's mouth dropped open. Tessa wiggled her middle to a clap of thunder. Oscar shook his head and blinked. Tessa burst into an all-out rock-and-roll boogie-woogie hip-hop two-step combo. Oscar watched, eyes wide. Finally, he cleared his throat and belted out a rowdy, riotous tune, just right for dancing feet. Tessa moved to the ground. Up, down, round and round, jump, shout, kick it out, swish, swoosh, shake it loose. She felt so good she couldn't stop if she tried. Tessa's mother crept carefully out of her hole. "Tessa, stop," she whispered, but Tessa couldn't hear her. She kept dancing to Oscar's song. Then Mrs. Timboni rushed down to the kitchen in her bathrobe. "Oscar, stop," she pleaded, but Oscar couldn't hear her. He kept singing to Tessa's dancing. Before long, Tessa's mother's tails twitched. She tapped her tiny toes. Then Mrs. Timboni's throat itched. She hummed a little tune. Soon everyone was dancing and singing along with Oscar's song. Do, wang, doodle, bang, doodle, doodle, do. By the time the neighbors called to complain, no one could hear the phone ring, and they danced, hippity, hop, hop, and they sang, doodle, wop, wop, all night long.